Hello everybody, welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well, and I just wanted to say a massive hello and welcome to all the new people that have recently joined my channel. Thank you very, very much for subscribing. As you all know, I don't have any membership fees, and I'm pleased to share that for the month of October, anything that I raise in ad revenue will be going to a charity of your choice. So if there's a charity that you particularly like me to support for the month of October, please make a note in the comments. If you haven't already subscribed, please would you consider subscribing. When I get to 4,000, I will be doing my Ladybird giveaway. So for those of you that are interested and you haven't already commented, or even if you commented before and you've maybe forgotten whether you've put a comment on my channel not about the Ladybird timers, if you're interested, because I don't want to clutter up other people's homes. If you're interested, when I get to 4,000, I will be doing the Ladybird timer draw. And I will be choosing some people through kind of one of these online systems where that goes, that chooses people randomly. I'll put the names in, I'll give each name a number, and then we'll see which people come out, and I will send them wherever you are in the world. But as I said, I don't want to clutter up other people's homes. Honestly, I bought these ages ago and they've been sitting in my house and I've been so keen to get rid of them. But it's taken me quite a while to get my additional 1,000 to get to 4,000. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and I'll see you in the next video. So as usual, I start with a few clips as to what you can expect in this video. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I do some work on the cupboard that I've mentioned quite a few times. I do loads of work in the kitchen. I'm so pleased to tell you all that my washing machine has been repaired. So you'll see me do so much washing. Oh my goodness, it's like a laundrette in my house. Honestly, it absolutely made my day. So I'd organised for the washing machine man to come out on Friday. So I messaged as you know, I've messaged quite a few people, but I've messaged him and he came out and he managed to fix it. So I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later in the video. So I wanted to thank all the new people that have recently subscribed to my channel. It's so lovely to have you here with us. Thank you for letting us know where you're from. So we've got some more subscribers from different parts of the United Kingdom. We've got some more subscribers from various different parts of Europe. So Spain, Germany and Hungary. And also from various different places across America. And we've got a new follower also from New Zealand. So welcome to everybody. And if you've not already shared with us where you're from, we'd love to know. So I do keep a little note of all the different places that people are watching from. So as I said, in terms of the washing machine, I'd contacted several people. As I told you before, one man came round and looked at the washing machine and said, "Is it that?" Like completely shocked. I think it was because he saw how my husband had taken it apart. And although my husband's not a person who can repair washing machines, he's actually very technical and very sort of logical and good with that sort of thing. But the man obviously didn't know that and just thought maybe we'd just kind of pulled it around. So my husband put it all back together again and we put it back into the kitchen because I said we don't want another person to come round and think the same thing. Like, what have they been doing to it? So he charged me £60. And then when he got here and he looked at it all, he said there was another part which had got quite a lot of wear, which was £50. So my husband paid for him to just get that done. So I'm so pleased. Honestly, it's silly, isn't it? But I'm so happy. I was at the point where I was going to need to do another urgent trip to the laundrette because I'd got so much washing. My daughter had run out of socks. I was running out of clothes. I think also I'm noticing that I'm getting a lot more washing because of trips to the gym. So when I do a workout, everything that I've worn all needs to go straight in the wash. So I guess there'd been like 4 trips to the gym. So all that had piled up. There was the wet towels that had been in the kitchen to mop up all the water. So I was so pleased. So normally I work from home on a Friday, but I had my meeting to do with job number 1. You know, the big meeting that I mentioned that I was worried about. So I went into the office with that, and the union person came with me. The union person was quite good. There was a few things that they said that were helpful, but also he at one point said to me, "Oh, Emma, would you like to manage this person again?" So this person has made lots of different complaints about lots of different things and has made life quite difficult and been quite difficult towards me. And the union person said, "Oh, would you like to manage them?" And I thought, what a funny thing to ask me in front of my senior manager. No, I'd like to run for the hills. Oh, dear me. It gets to the point, honestly, that some people are so straightforward, aren't they? And other people aren't. So point to the hills and I'm running to them. So after I had the meeting, I then went into the centre of Norwich, and I actually met with somebody to do with my convoy, my charity convoy that I'd organised. He'd messaged and said that he'd got something for me. And then when we were on holiday, we'd seen some little Fiat chocolates. My daughter spotted them actually. And he also loves magnets to do with Italy, but he hadn't got a magnet from the region that we'd visited. So I'd got him a magnet for that area. So he only had a 30-minute lunch break. So I gave him the chocolates and the magnet, and he gave me a bag covered with Fiat 500s, which I thought was very, very thoughtful. And then I came home, and my husband did the school run. I worked from home. I have got so much to do. I think because my work's very flexible, and I'd organised for both jobs not to work that much in the holidays, so work a bit in the evenings, but not to deliver any big meetings, not to deliver any big training sessions. I then have to, in order to have that flexibility, I then have to do a lot in September. So I literally came back. I did work for 1 week after I came back from Italy. Oh, but I've got meetings coming up. I've got training courses. One training course is supposed to be a maximum of 22 delegates. The list came through and it's got 26. The course is only an hour and a half. And obviously if people start asking questions, that's going to take it over the time, which I really can't do. Although, to be honest, when you have 26 delegates, you often get that people don't ask questions because they can sometimes feel uncomfortable asking them in front of other people. Yeah, so I've got training course, I've got a meeting that I'm chairing, and I looked and just thought, oh my goodness. But I have to remember, and I have to be thankful and grateful for the fact that I have got the flexibility that I had so much time off in the summer. And that's most important to me. I'm quite happy to have a lot of hassle and feel under pressure if that meant that I could have a lot of the summer off with my daughter. Also, I got some good news on some of the other things that I've been trying to sort out. You know how it felt like everything broke and everything was a problem at the same time? Well, that's what it felt anyway. But the building work has now been completed. So I think I said to you about that. But we've done one coat of paint, and my husband's just going to pop over to Yarmouth to do another coat of paint. So that'll all be sorted. The little toilet and also the bit in the ceiling. So that's one thing off my list. I've got to tell you, I told you that I got a really good price with the carpet people. Did I tell you that I got a phone call on the day that the carpet was fitted asking for the carpet fitting fee? They never told me anything about the fact that price did not include £107.50. So I had gone from being very impressed to not so impressed. It's still cheaper than the other price I got, but still I felt that was a little bit. He said, "Oh yes, you always pay them cash there and then," which that's fine, but I've never known them not to tell you. He didn't say there was any fitting fee, and I said to him, "Does this include everything? Does that include the bar? Does that include absolutely everything?" And he said yes, and it didn't include £107, which is kind of a big amount of money for them to forget about. I still got water leaking through a ceiling, which the plumber can't work out. The electrician turns all the electrics off because there's a light switch straight under. So I've had all that hassle. But the really good thing is today somebody went to take a look at the boiler, and the person then asked them about this, and he went up and had a look. And it seems that there's a couple of little areas where the grout is kind of come away or not so watertight, and water is getting through the gaps. So at least we know about that now, so that's good. The car is in the process of being fixed, so I'm still not got my car, but hopefully I'll get that back soon. And yeah, so it feels like there's quite a few things that are now getting fixed and sorted out. And then at Yarmouth, I'm sorting out that once the painting's done, I'm having this lady, she can't drive, so I'm lending her my Hoover. But a local person, she does cleaning, like caravans and different things. So I'm paying her to go in for a few hours just to clean the inside of the kitchen, the outside of the kitchen, and clean the wooden floors. Just because, yes, I could go over and do that, but at the moment it's like, when am I going to do it? And I really want to focus on my own house as well. So for those of you that are listening to this while you're doing things around your house, or cleaning or sorting or decluttering, you would have missed, I wasn't talking about it, I was talking about something else, but I showed briefly how I went to the bathroom cupboard, bearing in mind that I have decluttered that and cleared that out twice. I was looking in there, and we were about to go to my in-laws, and my father-in-law uses the same cream, like for dry skin and to prevent eczema, as what my daughter uses. And when she was younger, she used it a lot more frequently, so we've got quite a lot of bottles. Well, obviously that will have an expiry date on it, and now she's not using it so much, I suddenly thought, we've got all these bottles in the cupboard, they could all end up needing to be put in the bin. What a waste. So when I then lined them all up on the radiator, I saw how many bottles I actually had. Bear in mind, there's also a couple of bottles in her room. I think one in her drawer and one on her chest of drawers. So I thought, well, I could probably give 3 bottles to my father-in-law. Oh, what am I going to do with all these things? What am I going to do with all these things? I liked him, her. I'm not sure I want her anymore though. Right, that's a Halloween decoration that's been hiding here for the last few months. He needs to go back in the cupboard. So I need to move the chair. So as I was saying, I thought I could give 3 bottles to my father-in-law, plus the lavender one, which we don't like. So I thought my mother-in-law or father-in-law might like that for their hands. And then I felt some of the others and thought, I wonder whether I can move these all into one. You know, decant one bottle into another bottle. I absolutely love that as a way of saving space. But then I felt some of them, they were so light, I thought the amount of time this is going to take to extract 1 teaspoon of cream, it's not worth it. So I decided to put some of the bottles straight into the bin. So in the end, I think it was 12 bottles that I got rid of. What with, you know, and there were some that didn't have like proper pump lids because the pump lids have just been lost, so got rid of those. And then we took them round my in-laws, and my father-in-law said, oh, I'm right at the bottom of the bottle that I was using. So he was happy. My mother-in-law smelt the lavender one and she thought that was nice. She's actually broken her wrist, so her skin on her hands is getting really quite dry. So she was pleased with that. So you can see I'm in the lounge trying to sort out the things that are on the floor. A lot of these things were all under the sofa or at the side of the sofa. Now I decided that no longer am I going to shove piles of stuff behind the lamp and behind the side of the sofa, and then whenever I do need to go to the party cupboard, have to climb over everything as well as move the sofa. So that's why I took everything out. I've got 4 big craft bags. So there was knitting needles, wool that I do want to keep, and my dishcloth wool. Not done any knitting for my dishcloths for ages, which I find quite relaxing. And I ended up, those ended up being like 4 bags. And do you remember that my plan was to sort out my cupboards next to my TV? So I thought if I clear those out, I can then move some of the craft things that I want to keep into there. So I saw all of that out on this video. And the little bit which just stopped me from doing the voiceover and I was just talking to you at normal time. Don't know whether you heard me singing. I was going, what am I going to do with all this stuff? What am I going to do with all this stuff? It's always the same. I get all these things out and now I look at it, my lounge, it's gone like crazy. My husband and daughter, they never complain. But you know when you're trying to get everything out, you're trying to sort things out, and now I've got all the Pokemon things that were underneath the sofa. My husband's done research on a Pokemon game that my daughter's got that looks like we might be able to sell on eBay. She's got some collectible Pokemon cards. She's got 4 tins with Pokemon cards in. Then I've got a bag of recycling, a bag of rubbish and a bag for the charity, which I created while I was sitting here as you're watching me on the video. Then you can see my piles and piles of the never-ending story. The never-ending story, which is building the Lego sets. None of us really want to build the Lego sets. My daughter just wanted to build a new Lego set. And I said, look, can we just focus on getting these old ones? But she did both. She made up a lovely cherry blossom and took that and put that in her bedroom. And she also did some work on one of the sets. She did all the building and I was finding the pieces. My husband has done quite a lot, but it is taking a long time. Now, remember that box? This sort of a large wooden box that for some reason I saw advertised on Facebook Marketplace and decided that I wanted it. There's someone else decluttering their stuff. I've still got it and I was wondering about whether I should get rid of it or not. But then I opened it up and I randomly put some books in there. Books about Durham Cathedral, Norwich, a couple of other places. So I've put those, I've put those in with my travel books. And then, do you know what I've put in that box? I feel quite pleased with myself. I put the little rattan basket which has got little tea lights. I put one of my small lanterns and I'm going to put all the candles in there, which makes perfect sense. It makes much more sense to put things like the candles and my lanterns that I have in the autumn and winter than what it does randomly putting a few books in there. I looked at the Norwich book and I was tempted about getting rid of that, but I haven't got rid of it yet. I probably need to flick through it a bit more. I don't know where it came from, but it did get me reflecting. I now realise that there's various people in my family that they themselves have been decluttering over the last few years. And often what happens is they've decluttered things into my house. So whether it's some plates, some chopping boards, a chair, a little table, and all the time I've taken things into my house, either because I thought they were quite nice or because they belonged to a various distant family relative. And now on reflection, what I realise, they got them out of their house, nobody else wanted them, but I've taken them into my house. And I don't have the space, do I? So you can see here in the video, my boxes that I brought these boxes in quite a while ago, and they have been great for me to keep things tidy and sorted. So I've got like one box which is full of different coloured cards. I've got another box which is full of different craft items. I've got one box which is full of birthday cards, anniversary cards, etc. that I want to keep, although I found loads that I could get rid of. As I was sorting through, I found some maths books, some which we just decided to get rid of, some which my daughter has outgrown and she's completed them, but some also that are probably maths for around about 11, 12, so that it's easier for her
easy for her to do them, but they're quite good as recaps, you know, in terms of building that knowledge base. Someone once said to me with maths that you need to ensure that all your foundation bricks are in place, because over the years, school builds on them. And what happens is if you miss the understanding of, I don't know, dividing fractions, by the time you then get to 13 and 14, they're doing far more advanced things and you'll be totally confused. So what I did was I ripped out all the pages of the books which had been done, which was a lot. I said to her, look at all the work you've done. You've worked. She always works hard. But yeah, so we ripped those pages out, and then she did like 10 minutes of maths where she just ran through and did some probability, rounding numbers to 2 decimal places, and doing the estimates of numbers. And she enjoyed doing that. So I thought that's quite good for her, just to get back as she goes back into school, just to do some recap. I got rid of quite a lot of wool, so there was some wool that I don't want anymore. There's also, you know, my macrame hangers that I gave some away previously. I once asked friends if they'd got any of the old hoops. And loads of friends replied to me and said they'd got loads of those wooden hoops. So the wooden hoops you use and you attach like the macrame to them for the plant hanger. And I've got loads. People were so generous and kind. But I've not made any macrame hangers recently. I should really, because I do enjoy doing it. Okay, and I find it quite relaxing. But I need to probably get some more macrame wool. I do need to think sensibly whether I'm ever going to make 100 macrame plant hangers. Possibly not. So maybe I do need to get rid of some. And there's some that I'm not so keen on. Someone gave me some metal ones. I prefer the wooden ones, the wooden hoops. So maybe when I come back to look at this another time, I might get rid of the metal ones. Now, as I record this, we had some sad news in the United Kingdom. So I know not everybody likes the royal family, but we lost the Duchess of Kent. Now, in my humble opinion, she was a really lovely lady, and she had a very long life and a very interesting life, and she actually spent a lot of her childhood in Norfolk. As many of you know, Norfolk has got a royal residence, but also the Duchess, she went to school in Norfolk, so spent quite a lot of time in the county. She was very musical, and in her later years, obviously she married into royalty, but in her later years she did an awful lot of work for charity that many people were just unaware of. Unlike some people, she didn't make a big sort of song and dance about it all. So that was sort of some sad news that we had, really. I'm going to go through some of your comments now. So you know how much I love reading through your comments, and I really appreciate the time that it takes. Because whether you write one sentence or, you know, a whole paragraph, it all takes time to do. Thank you very much for those of you that add comments. So LV Frankie says, I think we need to complete those tasks that can't be undone quickly, for those quick wins for ourselves and to keep us motivated. It's hard work keeping up and on top of the kitchen, and it's so quickly undone. Yeah, I agree. In a blink of an eye, it's messy again. Yeah, I agree. I read an article online this week saying that many new homes in America are now not opting for a dishwasher. Reasons included were lack of space in smaller homes and the rise of the food delivery services such as Uber Eats and DoorDash for younger people. So people are just ordering their food in and then not having any washing up, just putting the wrappers in the bin, I suppose. You regularly are cooking multiple meals, so it is unrealistic to expect that you can maintain a picture-perfect kitchen combined with the other expectations you have in your current season of life. Thank you for the comment, LV Frankie. But what I always think is strange, like my mum and my mother-in-law both do a lot of cooking, and whenever I go to their houses, their kitchens are completely tidy. Completely tidy. But I've still not got into the kind of habit, into the way of being able to keep my kitchen reasonably good. That's the thing, just reasonably good would be okay. But I'm still trying to get rid of more. I think that's the key. The more you get rid of, the easier it becomes. Aqueous Beam says that they're from North Carolina, America. Great video. Thank you for letting us know. We've got a couple of people now from North Carolina. Rainy Milliman. Rainy says, my goodness, you've had time of it with your washer. So frustrating, especially when you can have it running while you're doing other things. Once you get behind, it's so hard to get caught up again. I agree. It's taken me a long time. My husband has finally started on cleaning out the garage. I'm so glad. We had the junk man come out and pick up some stuff today, and he's been called and informed there'll be more to pick up tomorrow. Well done, you and your husband. I had a fan stop working, so I wanted it to go to the scrapper, and there were some old pans and such that we'd stuck out in the gazebo, until which time we'd have enough time for the junk man scrapper to come and pick it up. Is the junk man or the scrapper like what I call the metal man? It's all progress, just slow going. I'll be putting out my dad's Santa mould out for free tomorrow. And then I read a comment of the follow-up. This is an older comment, I think. Because someone took that Santa. And I think that would have made a family very happy. And that would have made all the people who's then going to look at that Santa this Christmas happy. Oh, I think it's good when you put things out and people come and take them. Makes other people's day. I'm also getting rid of one of my vintage suitcases. It's still somewhat common for people to use them as decor, so hopefully someone will take it. They work nice for storage, but have eliminated so much stuff I no longer need it. Well done. I still have 2 others that are being useful. Just had a bank holiday and we have Labour Day weekend coming up. Won't be long and the leaves will start to turn, my favourite time of year. Oh, what a lovely post. Thank you. What is your Labour Day? What is the history of your Labour Day? I'm always interested with that because we have various bank holidays and there's always some sort of history connected to them. Dalla Repair says, hello Emma, I'm from Chicago, suburb, USA. Wow, Chicago's a really big city, isn't it? She says, I enjoy your videos very much. Keep up the great job. Thank you very much. And then Karen B has commented from Staffordshire and said, Tesco do a free from battered cod that is gluten, wheat and milk free with no egg in the ingredients. Not sure if you buy food like this or you make it fresh, as I'm new here. Oh, I did comment. I didn't see that said it was egg free. So I said, oh, thank you. I wonder if there's egg in it, as there usually is. And I said, thanks for your help. So, Karen, thank you for posting. That is useful. I will have a look. My daughter particularly likes the way that I do. She likes the fish and she likes the batter. But I do cook some things that are like already sort of made like that. There's other things that I've bought from the Freeform range that I try. And sometimes it's quite good to have something like that in the freezer ready. Like she sometimes has fish fingers, for example. Now, I'm wondering whether you're thinking the same as me, that whenever I like empty an area, take loads of things out, I'm always shocked at the amount which is actually in the cupboard. There's so much in here, so much. And I do think there's still a bit more that I can get rid of. But at this point, what I was trying to do was eliminate all the things that very easily I could just get rid of, give away or put in the bin, because I wanted to make space for those craft bags. But another time, because that's what's helping me sort out all the stuff that's in the sofa. So do you see, I've created myself a big job by taking all the things out from underneath the sofa and by the side of the sofa. And then I've got them now all piled up in the lounge. But in order to put them away where I want them, I then have to start doing another job. And it's so easy for me to get distracted with things. So at some point I'll go back through the cupboards again, particularly like going through stickers and things. There's quite a lot of stickers here, which my daughter will be finished with, I think. So I could find like a little craft group or somewhere to give them to. I don't want to put them in the bin. Charity shop probably won't sell them, so maybe I could give them to Rainbows or something like that. So you can see I've done quite a lot, but there's a lot more to do there before I start putting things back in the cupboard. So next comment that I wanted to go through is Tammy Ruse waved. That's often comments on my videos. Thank you. Miranda Friday said via Calfee or loo. It's a fresh smell. It's in a toilet duck shaped bottle. Thank you for that. One toilet is completely clear now, but the other toilet is still looking a bit iffy. I have to be careful with cleaners. Do you know when we went to the gym the other day, the lady decided to come in to the showers whilst me and my daughter were showering and spray this chemical that, boy, was so strong, and it was like lemon. My daughter started to wheeze, and then somebody else said to her, "Cool, that cleaner's very strong." So I was quite pleased that wasn't just me making a comment about it. Sandy says, lots of work again. You're doing well. Did you get your washer fixed? So I've shared with you all the answers to that now. Thankfully so. Dragonfly says that they're from California. So we've got a few people now from California. And then Lucy Tansy Thomas says, hi Emma, have you been to the newly refurbished Norwich Castle? It's really fantastic. And then Lucy says, I've just seen you've been to the castle. Well, outside, Lucy. I haven't been in. Now, we love the castle. My daughter has been so many times when she was little. So many times. We used to just pop in, have a little wander round. They were always able to cater for my daughter. So they'd do a jacket potato and plain prawns, or jacket potato and plain tuna, and it was nice just to have a little wander. There was a few little games that we used to play that my daughter actually thought the museum service had put on, and I recently said to her, oh no, it was just us. So for example, they used to have these little buckets and various items that children would put in the bucket. And what we used to do is I'd put items in the buckets and then she would go and find them around the museum. So like say there was a little tiny figurine of an elephant, she would then go and find the elephant painting. And she thought the museum service had done that game. And I said to her the other day, no, that was Mummy that made that up. So we had a little laugh about that. So I have watched the television programme, Lucy. I thought that was absolutely amazing. But I have got mixed feelings about some of the work they've done. And I don't want to be disappointed. So I was really shocked that they put that hole through the wall. I was really shocked. I couldn't quite believe they were doing that. And I'm worried that they might have got rid of some of the other sections that I love. So I like the dioramas with the animals, and I'm worried that they might be gone. But I've been up. My daughter's never been up to the battlements, and I've been a few times. But then they closed them down, didn't they? So I'm guessing the fact that Lucy says it's really fantastic, she must have loved it. So it's exciting, and I definitely do want to go, but I want to go for the whole day because the entrance is £17, I think, for an adult. So for that price, you don't want to just pop in for a couple of hours, do you? Sort of a whole day, really. So here you can see in the video, the washing machine is working. It's late, you can see it's very dark outside, but I got a load on, and then I set the machine so it came on at 7 in the morning. So I could then get the washing out on the line for the morning as well. So I ended up doing, I think I've done 4 loads now. And I'd say that I've got another 2 loads to do. I need to do all the bed covers. So that's going to be a big job for me. But I didn't want to strip all the beds and bring it all down in my massive pile, because I just haven't got the space in the kitchen. This is the thing. But yeah, so much to get back on top of things. And then like people were saying, that rather than sort of doing the washing at the same time as doing other things, I've missed out on that time. But I will get back on track. It just takes a little bit of time. But I will get there, because one thing I am is determined. And I was looking again at the Fly Lady. And Diane in Denmark was talking about Fly Lady. And the various different stages. And I think, I know some of you are like not really sure. And you're not that keen. But I do think there are some parts of Fly Lady that I could incorporate, but not quite yet. I think I'm some distance off that still. What do you all think? Do you think that I need to have every single room decluttered to, say, a second layer or third layer, and then start thinking if I could do some of the Fly Lady baby steps? I'm interested in your thoughts on that. I know I've got some people that love Fly Lady and others that really aren't very keen at all and have said, no, tried it, Emma, don't waste your time. They've tried it and it hasn't worked. And also, if your life's very busy and you work and you do other things, people have said it's very difficult to manage. So please share with me your thoughts. Laurie McCord says, hi Emma, my only child is in his 30s now. I saved some of his special toys. Oh, how lovely. Boxed up in the attic. When he had his child, out came the toys and they were loved again. It was wonderful to see our grandchild playing with his toys, especially the wooden train set. It's important to declutter, but it's okay to keep what is special to us. Oh, that's really lovely. Oh, Karen Howard says, Yahoo! Almost 4,000. Dividing up the room in quarters gives you the satisfaction of one piece done at a time. I like that idea. I thought that was a really good idea. Teresa says, oh my goodness, Emma, what an amazing video. Oh, thanks, Teresa. You should be so proud. I really would have loved to have played with the Sylvanian families and read all the books. Ha ha. I kept my daughter since she's now 26. I fractured my ankle doing calisthenic exercises. I need to look up what that is. Over a week passed and I gave in and went to the hospital and am now in a cast of 4 weeks. Oh my goodness. I had an op on it last Friday to fit the plate and screws. Week on, pain subsiding, but totally debilitating. Goodness me, this is awful. However did you manage to do it with doing these exercises? I need to check what these exercises are. Goodness me. So, Teresa has been reading lots, watching YouTubers and knitting. Oh, and she's watched my video. That's very good of you, Teresa. P.S. I wanted some of your clothes you were throwing out. Ha. The glittery top, lovely for Christmas. I also love all your style of clothes. Oh, that's nice. Thanks for cheering me up with your video. Teresa in Belfast. Oh, every time Teresa posts or anybody from Ireland posts, I think, I want to go to Belfast. I want to go to Belfast. I've only been to Belfast once, and that was for my husband's grandmother's funeral, and we literally flew there, stayed overnight, so that was like the evening, got up, went to the funeral, and then came home. It was such a shame. So I didn't really get to see Belfast at all properly, so I'd definitely like to go and have a look and look round to show my daughter some of the places that my husband knew when he was growing up and visited his grandparents, and also go to the places where like his grandparents lived and his great-grandparents lived. I think it's nice history for my daughter. As for the glittery top, I've got to be honest, Teresa, I nearly thought about looking in the bags for it and taking it out, but it's not a good top. And the reason why it's not a good top is you can't wear normal underwear with it. And so, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So I'm happy to get rid of that. So I'm getting towards the end of my video. So I hope you found the video useful, helpful. I hope you've not found it overwhelming. I'm still not feeling overwhelmed, although I've still got so much to do. And the next few weeks are going to be so busy. So thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for subscribing, and any comments that you add all helps me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.